The East End of London has always been a place of arrival. For centuries, sailors, refugees, workers and families from across the world have come here, each leaving their mark on the streets, the buildings and the culture of Tower Hamlets. Asian and African seafarers settled in the East End from the 16th century onwards, during a time when London's docks were at the epicentre of global trade. They came from the Indian subcontinent, Bengal, the Arabian Peninsula and East Africa. Known as Lascars, they worked as crews, stewards, deckhands and waiters. Lascars included African people who were enslaved and trafficked from the Caribbean, and they also came to the East End, some escaping their captors while their ships were in the docks, fleeing through the streets of Wapping and Limehouse. In the 17th century, thousands of French Protestants, called Huguenots, settled in Spitalfields and Brick Lane after fleeing religious persecution in France. Skilled silk weavers, they transformed the area into a centre of the trade, and some of their church buildings still stand today. During the 18th century, migrants from the patchwork of small states and territories that later formed Germany came to the East End, many settling in Whitechapel. They specialised in sugar baking, and their church in Aldergate, built in 1762, is the oldest surviving Lutheran church in the UK. From the 18th to the early 20th centuries, Shephanic Jews fleeing persecution in Spain and Ashkenazi Jews fleeing persecution in Eastern Europe came to the East End. Between 1881 and 1891, 30,000 Russian Jews came to London. Many settled in Spitalfields and Brick Lane, bringing tailoring skills. They formed tight-knit communities, but often faced prejudice and anti-Semitism. From the late 18th century, Chinese sailors from East India Company ships settled in Limehouse, and by the early 20th century, Limehouse became known as London's first Chinatown. Numbers declined, however, after the Second World War, and Chinatown moved to Soho. But in the 1980s, new arrivals from Hong Kong renewed the community. In the 18th century, Irish weavers settled in Tower Hamlets after the collapse of the Irish linen industry, and later, many worked on the construction of London's docks. The Great Famine of the 1840s drove many more, and most Irish men worked as mavvies, digging canals, building railways and roads, or as dock workers on the Thames. By the 1870s, Irish communities were well established, but they often faced prejudice for their Catholic faith and Irish nationalism. After the Second World War, migrants arrived from the Caribbean. Some were seamen, others were invited by government policy to help Britain rebuild its economy. Many settled in Tower Hamlets, creating a strong Caribbean community that still thrives. In 1975, after the end of the Vietnam War, Vietnamese refugees arrived via Hong Kong. Many settled in Poplar and the Isle of Dogs, where their descendants can still be found. Bengalis and Bangladeshis have long-established roots in London, but large numbers came here after Bangladesh's independence in 1971. Many found work in the local textile factories and the garment trade, but they faced racism in the 1970s, especially from the far-right National Front. The racist murder of Al-Tab Ali in 1978 became a turning point, sparking mass protests and a powerful anti-racist movement that still exists today. Somali seamen have lived here since the 17th century, but from the late 1980s, thousands fled Somalia's civil war, and the Somali population of Tower Hamlets more than tripled. And since 2004, many Eastern Europeans, particularly Poles and Lithuanians, have also made the East End their home. Today, Tower Hamlets is one of the UK's most diverse boroughs. The Bangladeshi population is the largest in the country, alongside large Somali, Chinese, Italian, Maltese, Caribbean, Eastern European and Roman communities. For centuries, migration has shaped the East End, making Tower Hamlets the vibrant, global community it is today.